Hello everyone and welcome to today's YouTube video where I'm going to attempt to make the Great British Bake Off technical challenge from the first week of Jaffa Cakes. So I hope you enjoy. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is go through our ingredients basically. So for the jelly we are using a pack of orange jelly. I know on the Bake Off they didn't do this, but this is Mary Berry's recipe. So it says a packet of orange jelly, so I've got Hartley's for today. A small orange and 150 ml of boiling water for the jelly. For the sponge you need a bit of unsalted butter for greasing, a large egg, some caster sugar and some self-raising flour. You will need 25 grams of both caster sugar and self-raising flour. First thing I'm going to do is do the jelly and let that set in the fridge because it takes up to an hour to chill. So I'm going to use this bowl and I'm just going to open the jelly. I haven't used jelly like this in yonks. I have already washed my hands just to, clarify. I might just get a pair of scissors actually. Excuse me a moment. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this up into the chunks it's supposedly meant to be in, so that when I add boiling water it will dissolve a bit quicker. Right, so that is our jelly. I'm just going to boil the kettle and then we will be back to the jelly. Okay, so our kettle has just finished boiling. So we need 150 millilitres, so I have a measuring jug and I'm just going to carefully pour in 150 ml. There we go. Right, now what I am going to do, it says the zest of an orange, so while that's quickly in the jug, I'm going to quickly zest an orange using a grater. Some people don't use graters, some people use something else. So I'm just going to quickly it says a small orange, so I'm only going to do a bit of this orange because this isn't exactly a small orange. Just quickly going to do a bit more and then we'll go into the jelly. And all this is doing is basically enhancing the orange flavour. Right, I'm just going to grab a knife so I can actually get that out of there. Bear with me one moment. And all I do, go on the inside. There you go. So it'll be a bit orangier than it was. Now all I'm going to do is get what's easiest to do this with? Probably a fork. And just mix it in and let the jelly dissolve into the water so that you basically end up with liquid jelly. To be honest, with the amount I was using, I could probably have just done it in the jug. Might have been easier. In fact, I'm going to transfer this just back into that jug. I think it's probably easier in the jug because there's less space for it to actually move around to. So it'll melt quicker, hopefully. With a bit of luck. And it'll go that sort of Jaffa orange colour. At least you hope it will. There you go. Right. Once that's done, it's all dissolved. It'll look quite a orangey colour. Might look a little bit red because of the lighting in here. So what I'm going to do is, it says, oh, got it all over my sheet. Add the orange zest, which I already did, then pour into a shallow 30 by 20 inch tray. This is roughly 30 by 20. Put some greaseproof paper in it just so I can get it out later. And then it just says chill in the fridge for an hour or until set. So I'm hoping greaseproof paper won't stop it setting. And I'm also hoping I can get it in here without spilling it over the sides. There we go, well done. Right, now I'm just going to open the fridge in preparation for putting that in there. Right, I'm just going to put this in the fridge very carefully for an hour. Jelly for an hour. Okay, so I'm going to set a timer for an hour. There we go. While the jelly's in the fridge, I'm going to preheat my oven to 180 degrees. And we're going to work on the sponge for the Jaffa Cakes. Because basically while the sponges are cooling, the jelly can be setting. And then maybe I could get the chocolate ready as soon as both things are ready. So what we're going to then do is just do a bit of a clear up. Move anything out of the way I don't need. Smells very orangey now. And as you can see, I've got it all over my lovely recipes. I'm going to move that one because that's different. So preheat the oven to 180 degrees, fan 180 degrees, 160 fan. Now this is a fan oven, so I'm going to put it on 160. Or gas Mark 4, and grease a 12-hole shallow bun tin with butter. I'm going to use this one because I personally think that is roughly how a Jaffa cake would. Am I using that one? Yeah, that's the shallowest one we've got. So I'm going to quickly grease this with butter. Now, I'm not entirely sure how to do this. I might just get a bit of greaseproof paper actually. Now this butter has been out for a little while this morning, so it should be slightly soft. And then just need to quickly grease them so that I can make sure that when I'm attempting to when I'm putting them in these later, I don't want them to stick. So my way of doing it is just get a bit of butter on the greaseproof paper and quickly just flick it around the insides of each one. And at least they've been greased. There you go. I think that counts as greased. I might just put a tiny bit extra. And a couple, just because I'm not entirely sure they've had a full. There we go. Apologies if you can hear the washing machine. There we go. I'm going to quickly wash my hands. go. Quick hand dry. Tea towels are always best. Only ever use that one for drying hands. Right. For the sponge, whisk the egg and sugar together for 4 to 5 minutes. So, for this I will need my electric mixer. Does it say whisk? I think it says whisk. Whisk. So I need my whisk. Just checking. Yep. Awesome. Yes. Don't need that. What do I do need? For those of you who don't have an electric whisk, it'll take you quite a while to do it by hand, and you will have achy hands by the end of it, because, let's just be honest, a hand whisk or an electric mixer like this one is probably the easiest way. Put it together, Hayley, properly. There we go. Okay. So, to this. This is what you'll be using to whisk your egg and sugar. So, you need 1 large free-range egg, which is here, which I can actually crack straight into here. I'm just going to make sure I've got something to put the shell in, sorry, because it's always good to have something to put the shell in. There we go. The egg has gone in without any shell, which is lovely. Then we need 25 grams of caster sugar, which I believe is this. So, just grab the scales and pop them here. Just going to check camera angle is okay. Yeah, okay, cool. So I've cracked the egg into here. I'm just going to weigh out 25 grams of caster sugar. I'm going to do it without a spoon. She says. Is it not? It's a bit lumpy. Do you know what? I've got a better way of doing it. Instead of making a mess like I just did, let me grab a spoon. Oh, that's 24. That's 25. So it's basically about a spoonful. But make sure you weigh it anyway. Whisk the egg and sugar for 4 to 5 minutes. So I need to put that in there. So for this I'm going to put it on a number 5 because it will just make it go a bit quicker. Whisking, I'm just going to measure 25 grams of self-raising flour. I'll just show you the consistency. So it's gone really foamy. I don't know if you can tell that. It's gone quite foamy. So that's roughly 5 minutes because the buzzer on the cooker was about to go off. So it's gone quite foamy. Just to like sum it up in a couple of words, just going to very carefully. What I don't want to do now is knock the air out. So it says to fold in the flour. So I'm just going to move that over there because I don't need that anymore. And take this bowl out of here. It's gone quite sort of pale and it says pale and fluffy. Yeah, pale and fluffy. In fact, I might give it another few minutes. I might just give it another minute. Just see if it'll go any fluffier. Another few seconds and it's a little bit fluffier, but we'll leave it at that because I think I don't want to overbeat it in case it ruins it. Right. Okay, just going to move that again. Right, so I'm going to take this out for just a moment, and now I need to fold in the flour. So I'm just going to move this out of the way. Get my 25 grams of flour. It doesn't say that you need to sieve it. Oh, it does. Apologies. Just get my sieve. This is obviously going to be to make sure there's no lumps in it, so I'm just going to sieve this quickly into here. And obviously with clean fingers, carefully. Right, it says to fold it in, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to very carefully just fold it in so that you don't knock the air out. Because if you knock the air out of this, it won't work. And that will gather. And obviously this is a fatless sponge because there's no butter involved. The only butter being used is actually to grease your bun tin. So folding, instead of mixing, you just do nice big O's with it around the bowl. And obviously just check that it's all combined before you attempt to from what I can see, that looks okay to me. It looks well combined. So it says to put a dessert spoonful per hole. So let me grab a spoon and a teaspoon. So it says 3/4 full. Is it? Fill each one in the bunting 3/4 full. Teeny tiny bit to that one. This is going to make 12, so I've got to be wary of how much I put in. But we will see, I think some are going to be slightly fuller than others. That hasn't quite mixed in, I can tell. So let me just quickly fold the rest of that in. Okay, right. Let me attempt to move that out of the way. May have been overfilling the first few, we'll see. Always take a bit out of the others if you have to. Okay, so what I now think I need to do is attempt to, should I just leave it? Okay, I've done 10. It's meant to make 12, but I think I put a bit too much in the first ones. But that's okay. I think if I try and fiddle with it, I will just ruin them. So what I'm going to do, 7 to 9 minutes. Until well risen. So if I put them like that. Okay, there's 2 at the back that aren't filled. There's not a lot I can do about that. So if I turn them like that, I'm going to put them in the oven. I'm in for 7. I'm going to see what they come out like. Because I didn't have enough mixture for 12, but that possibly was my own fault because I may have overfilled 1 or 2. But we will see when they come out. We will see. So I've just put them in the oven. Okay, so they have finished baking. So I'm just going to edit the camera to show you them. I have already touched them and they're supposed to spring back. So they do, so I'm going to get them out. I'll just show you. They do definitely spring back, so we will leave them. It says to leave them on a cooling rack, a wire tray. I'm hoping they'll come away from the sides quite easily. It says leave to cool in the tray for a few minutes, then finish cooling on a wire rack. So I've put the tray on a wire rack because that's what I normally do. A few minutes, I'll give them a couple of minutes just to cool. And then we will get them out, leave them on the wire rack to completely cool. And the jelly has had half an hour. I'm going to just check it. I shall take you with me, because why not? We can have a quick look too. Fridge is just here. Let me just edit. Hello dog. Camera angle. So I'm just gonna show you the jelly. Yeah, so we're practically almost set. Maybe another couple of minutes. Maybe give it the full half an hour. But I don't know if you can tell. It's not runny anymore. It just needs a little bit longer. Just want to make sure it is definitely set. Okay, so on closer inspection of the recipe, it does say leave the chocolate to cool and thicken slightly. That's slightly cooler. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer them back onto this rack. But I think what had happened is I put the chocolate on when it was still way too hot. Therefore I think I almost, it didn't actually drip properly, which is quite nice. But I need to make sure that it's cool enough so that it doesn't actually affect the jelly disc in the middle. So what I'm going to do this time is put them all back on the rack, but cool this down a little bit more. Just cool it down till it's a bit thicker than it is at this precise moment. I just want to check the temperature. Not that hot anymore. I think we're going to try again. Put this fork there. Right, we're going to try this again. Now that it's not still not cool enough actually. No, I'm going to have to give it a bit longer. Oh, I keep getting messy. Wash my fingers. And some soapy water, because that's what it's for. Right. I've learnt something there. Don't try, excuse me, don't try putting hot chocolate onto jelly, because it just literally ruins it. Luckily they're not too bad. But anyway, let me lift this up into the air. It's a bit warm underneath. We've got that covered. Oops, daisies, apologies. I'm just gonna get some cool water. And without getting it in the chocolate. Okay, give me a second. That's definitely thicker. Okay, so I've transferred it because I almost got water in the other one, and I've avoided the area that I did get water in. So I've saved quite a bit of chocolate. So I assume this is still recording. It is. So there we go. There is our thickened chocolate that I am now going to put some on top of my Jaffa cake with, and hope that it holds this time. And then all I've got to do is very carefully and steadily put it. Probably easier if you pick them up, to be honest. And just very carefully hold the disc in place and just spoon the chocolate over the top. I mean, it's not going to look like a proper Jaffa cake, I'm not going to lie, because an actual Jaffa cake looks so much nicer than these. But I mean, this is home baking, so of course it's not going to look like a packet of Jaffa cakes. But if you sort of conceal the jelly disc and then just do a bit of a thing on the top, and then just let the chocolate go hard, and I'm going to do that with just a few of them and then finish them off in my spare time a bit later on. So again, I hope you can see, but I'm putting a little bit of chocolate in the middle. Pick it up, pick up the one you're doing, I think is the easiest way, and just very carefully move it around. Obviously the jelly disc I think should be a bit smaller than this one is, because I think that's partly why I'm having a bit of an issue getting the chocolate to go to the sides. But yeah, just make sure most of it is covered, and then just do a little, and just do a bit of a, it's sticking to the jelly, which isn't good. The jelly keeps sticking to my fork, which isn't the plan. But anyway, you get the idea. You just sort of do a bit of a fork pattern on the top, and then you leave it, and then it sets.